What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another glorious day over here at Skiffland. Kind of pressed for time, I'm not gonna lie. Getting all of the supplies weirdly took a really long time today, but we're here nonetheless for part 2 of putting a new floor in the skiff. I got some wood, I got some fiberglass, I got some resin, I got some rollers. We're gonna do our best, all right? We're not gonna rush anything, but we are a little pressed on time. I try to get out of here around 5 o'clock every day so I can get home and edit and get a video out. If it pushes a little later, it's all good, because I don't want to rush the process. But I have good news, really good news actually. I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but this foam is completely dry everywhere. I'm shocked. I don't know. Like I said in the video yesterday, it was barely wet. It was almost like just that teeny tiny top layer was a little saturated just from the wet wood maybe, but it didn't go deep at all. I took samples everywhere. And I'm back here today from having the fan in here all night. And she's dry as a bone. That means we can just cut some wood, lay some glass, lay some resin. And then tomorrow we're gonna do a gel coat and everything. If everything goes well today. I got some more tools. I got a circular saw so I can get rid of all this wood up here. All this wood up here is super dry. So let me go get the circular saw. We'll start there, and then I have to get all these little screws out of all the stringers. Speaking of screws, remember yesterday how I said there's a splinter in the bottom of my foot? Every time I would take my flop off and I would check the bottom of my foot, there would be no splinter, but there was a little hole in my foot. And I couldn't figure out why, because I don't know what made me not check my flop. I don't know. I figured if there was a screw in my flop, I'd be able to see it from the top end. I don't know, man. But earlier today, I went to clean my flops of all the fiberglass dust. And I flipped it over, and there was a screw head on the bottom. So there was a screw in my flip-flop. I walked around on it for way too long, just thinking that I had a splinter in my foot. Literally just walking on a screw. It is what it is, man. Let's get to work. Here's the circular saw. This is gonna get a lot of work today. Gotta make a lot of cuts. I gotta do a lot of measurements. This thing's gonna get a workout, nonetheless. I brought a couple batteries so we don't have to run into that being an issue. Remember how I said I'd like to get out of here by 5 o'clock? It is 4 o'clock. What do you think? Aside from not being able to track down resources, because I live in the worst part of Florida to do any type of boat work, aside from that, I was having a good time with my wife and my baby today. So sue me, man, sue me. I'm still gonna get to work. I couldn't tell why the vibes were off in here, but it's because my lights weren't plugged in. Now I'm just gonna cruise around in my flops, take out all the screws, and try not to step on another one. I'm just over the moon thrilled with how dry this foam is. I was scared last night that I was wrong and I was gonna come back here in the morning and it was gonna be more wet than I thought. But no, we got really, really lucky. Save a little bit of money on expanding foam, save a little bit of time in the project, because using all the right stuff to replace this floor is about $1,000. It's crazy. All the fiberglass and the expensive wood and resin and rollers. And if you have to buy any tools, it's just, it ain't cheap. Pretty much all of those screws broke off at the head, which is why I had a half screw in my flip-flop. But I went around and just hammered the rest in to the stringers. They'll be fine. This is what I got though. A couple of full screws, a couple of screw heads, and that's that. So now I'm gonna just make some chill, little simple marks with the marker to show where the stringers are to make life easier here in the future. Milwaukee marker. Bingo. 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 We'll do a mark right here to show that they stop right here. Bingo. This is where we're gonna add another little block of wood to screw into. Need to add another block right here. Bingo, bingo. Okay, easy enough. This is some dirty foam. I'm gonna grab, after I hit the circular saw right here and just clean up this edge, I'm gonna grab the shop vac and just do one more cleaning before I start cutting wood to lay down in here. That way it'll be all nice and clean. I was considering getting a piece of PVC pipe for under here for the rigging tube and have it come up right here and back there, but I'm not 100% sure where I want that to end up just yet. So for now, I'm just gonna seal it all up because I don't even know if I'm gonna run a PVC pipe under there or not yet. I might do all the rigging on top under one of those channels. I have one over there from a Carolina skiff build, so I might just keep it all on top and just seal all of this up so there's no more water intrusion. That might be what I end up doing. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that I'm at least gonna seal this up today completely, full thing. I'm not gonna worry about the rigging tube today. I took a little bit of time off camera to really clean up the edges, just try and get it all as straight as possible, make sure there's no half screws sticking out anywhere, make sure there's not too much sawdust and fiberglass dust where I don't want it to be, a bunch of just loose stuff. I got it all up out of here. It actually looks pretty clean in here. I mean, it looks super dirty, but clean as far as we should be able to drop a couple pieces of wood in here and move right along. It's so solid though. I'm shocked with how soft those two spots were. I guess it was just the wood because this foam is super solid. I'm thanking my lucky stars that this foam is super solid. Let me go grab the wood. Let's see if we can manhandle this wood out of here. On like days like today, what would I be doing if I didn't have a truck? Ugh. I got 3 pieces of 3/4 inch. So instead of going long ways, I'm gonna go sideways so I can get a good cut for the bilge area. It's gonna play a little bit of Tetris, but 3 pieces of 4x8, 3/4 inch marine plywood. That stuff's not cheap. That stuff is not cheap. It's not light either. It's kind of a task getting this in and out of the old truck bed. Got all my wood out, and I just wanted to say, keep this in mind while watching the video. 2 things. 1, this is not a how-to channel. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do anything. I'm just doing it. And the second thing being, I'm just a bro, man. I'm not a professional. So if you see anything wrong in the video, it is what it is. This is how I'm doing it. So yeah, just don't take it too seriously, please. I'm just a bro, man. I'm just a bro. This is the area back here that I'm gonna have to get a little more Tetris about. The sheet up there is just one solid sheet, and then this last sheet, I'm gonna have this appendage hanging off. Shouldn't be too crazy though. I'll get out the tape measure, I'll make some measurements, I'll make some cuts. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best. I got a straight edge with me too. Although these lines are very straight, they're not perfect. So a straight edge is only gonna do so much. I mean, I don't know, it actually is pretty straight. I'm not mad about this line. I think it was the curvature of the gunnel that was throwing me off. That's a pretty straight cut, my friend. All right, let's get the drawing lines and measuring stuff. Let's get scientific, brother. I actually just cruised over here to Harbor Freight. I forgot I needed to get an angle grinder and a flap disc. I'm back with the new angle grinder and the disc. Let me show you why I needed it. Just so I get good glass adhesion, I'm gonna grind down all of the gel coat and glass up above this edge. So when I lay the wood down and lay the glass down, it'll all bond really well. Rather than this flaky old gel coat glass stuff on here, it just wouldn't adhere correctly. I watched a video. Safety glasses are on. I'm gonna see if I can do this with one hand. If not, I'll set you up on the tripod. Works pretty good one-handed, but I'm gonna set you up on the tripod, time lapse it out, and just get to work for a little bit. I'll put you over here so you get a good view. Angle grinder put in work. It was pretty satisfying too. It took a little longer than I thought, but got all the way around, all the edges, all the way around. And I want to say, I yanked out this leaf blower just to get all the loose dust up and to the back so I could vacuum it out. This thing puts in work, dude. It's like actually crazy. There's some horses in there. I'm wildly impressed. All right, now it's time to start taking some measurements for this wood. I know lengthwise we're sitting pretty much at 5 feet. Let's see. All right, lengthwise is 59 inches on the dot. $59 inches. 59. Okay, this is our 59 cut. And then we need to figure out where, here, and here to make a little box for the bilge. 16.2 and 41 and a half. 16.2, 41 and a half. Okay. Scratch that. It's gonna be 17 and 41.6. Looking like 16 inches deep. Easy enough. Okay, this is our bilge. These are the first cuts we get to make. I'm actually super excited. This should be our first cut, but we'll see. We might have to make some adjustments. Let's bring it over there. Dude, I had you on the tripod and everything. How cringe is this? It needs to be the opposite. I need an appendage, not an amputee, man. Dang, that sucks. Ay, 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 ay. Let's see, what can I do? I could probably just, dude. All right, well. Right on, right on, right on, right on. Let's see what we can do. I guess I can just, I'm gonna fix this so I can still use this piece of wood. Never mind, that piece is actually toast. And putting this full piece in here, you can see how there's a huge gap. So just to center it on this stringer, I'm gonna cut off this much, but I'm actually going to try and match the curvature of this line right here the best that I can, you know? So I'm gonna figure out a way to do that and then check back in. Probably use some jig to kind of, that'll move with the curve, and then hit it with the jigsaw. Just tried a little jig. It honestly didn't work very well. I'm just going to eyeball it, which sounds crazy, but I need a little more right here, a little less, a little more, a little more, less, a little more right here, a little less, a little less. This is crazy talk, I know. A little less right here, a little less. Way less. A little something like that. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna cut it and literally we will see. I just finished cutting it and laying it down. It didn't work. I mean, it's pretty close, but not really. It's not really that close. We got gaps here, we got gaps there, and now it's wonky on that side. It is what it is. This wood is really expensive, so I'm gonna have to make it work. And now I'm gonna have to get wonky with this piece. And then I'm just gonna start laying stuff in. I'm just gonna start laying it in. And then once I have it all laid in, these little gaps around here, I'll just start filling in just so it's as tight as possible, but we'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world, guys. We will figure it out, but solid as a rock, my man. Solid as a rock. Tap dance away. I think my plan actually, because I only want to use big pieces of wood. I don't want to like have a bunch of little pieces. I want it to be super structural. So I think I'm gonna grab the other big piece and cut a long strip for that, lay that in, and then one piece back here as well. So it's gonna be 3 pieces total, not counting the little filler pieces around the edges. But I'm glad I got 3 pieces of wood, because otherwise I would have been down bad right now. Buy 3 pieces of wood, allow yourself room for error. Story of my life. What if, I guess let me go grab that other piece of wood. Whew, this is gonna be a wonky measurement for sure. It's gonna start at like probably 13 inches and end, I wanna say 15 inches. There's a bit of a curve. I'm sure there are jigs and whatnot that I could build real quick to get it perfect. But I think we'll be all right. I might just measure it the whole way down. I'll do like 80 measurements and then just draw a line. We'll see. I just finished cutting it. This is my first attempt. Got it perfect down here, but up here it started to go left, I suppose. Wonked it just a little bit, but I think if we shave off a little bit of this side, I'll be able to shove it in. Whatever I take off of this side, I could probably fill right here. Dude, can you believe it? I've been looking for my safety glasses for like 7 minutes. It's been a long 7 minutes. Went to take my hat off. They were right where they should be. I put some shims down. It actually looks pretty good. This filled up quite nicely. I haven't put any shims on the outer lines just yet, but between these two boards, filled up nice and solid, nice and sturdy. I'm happy with it. I'll move on to this back piece, and then once I'm done with the back piece, I'll work on the shims for around the edges. Moving right along. It's rough. It's rough. My mind is all jumbled. I'm not sure why, but so I keep making some mistakes. But to be honest, if I waited until tomorrow, I feel like I'd still make mistakes. It's whatever. I'm not afraid to make a mistake or two. I'm here. I'm working. All right, one more cut. About to make my cut for the bilge area, and I need to remember, this is gone, this is gone, this good. A big T is what I need. Measured twice, cut once. I already made that mistake, man. I believe this should work. We'll see. Look, one time I was cutting and I could just smell burning rubber. One cut, whatever. I want this to be a satisfying, just click into place type of deal, but I know that's not how it's gonna go. Gonna need some shims or something, but wow, okay. Gonna need to make a bunch of cuts. Close. We're so close. All right. This is getting extremely custom. I'll check back in once I get all the cuts done, I suppose. One cut at a time. This floor is going in today, brother. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, the floor is in. All my shims are in. It's okay. It looks all right. Nice and flat, nice and sturdy. Keep in mind, we have a big margin for error because all of this is gonna be underneath C-deck type decking, EVA foam. Like I said in the last video, I'm gonna try and contact a C-deck type company and see if they have just one giant strip hanging out in the shop that I could buy and then come here and put on. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get a couple big old sections of Amazon EVA foam. Regardless, after we glass this and gel coat it, it's still gonna be under EVA foam. So as long as it's structural, as long as it's not gonna rot out again anytime soon, as long as you can do jumping jacks and tap dance and just be super joyful jumping up and down when you catch a big old donkey fish, as long as it's structural, that's all I can ask for. But it actually, halfway through I thought this was gonna be terrible. I thought it was gonna look real rough, and it is a bit rough around the edges, but I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. The fiberglass matting is gonna do a lot of heavy lifting, but all right. Let me grab the matting out of the truck. Let me grab the resin and let's get to partying. This is gonna be the, I wouldn't want to say easy part, but a lot easier than this because I can just cut out matting. I got more than I needed, so I'll just cut out a bunch, lay it down, and then just go from there. All right, let me grab that. So this is what I got. A big old thing of Evercoat Marine Boatyard Fiberglass resin. This is all gonna be above the water line, so I'm cool with it being a polyester resin. And then I got this big old roll of fiberglass matting cut by the yard, or at least priced by the yard. It was $13.99 a yard, and I got 10 yards. So more than enough. That way if I mess up, I have something to rely on or fall back on. So I'm gonna roll this out, see how much we have, see how easy it's gonna be, go from there. Let me grab some scissors. I'm gonna make some cuts. I'm gonna plan out every piece before I start laying resin. So I think I might do a strip down and then another strip down, a strip here, strip all through the back, and then let that start to dry a little bit, get tacky, and then come over with the big pieces. That's what I'm thinking at least. So I'm gonna try and be super strategic, I would say. We got a lot of overlap here, so I can take one of these pieces and cut a long enough strip to pretty much cover everything. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll check back in when I have all my pieces rolled up and ready to go. It is getting late, but I have everything rolled out here for the sides, and then back here, this is gonna be the strip that goes on the left side, and it's gonna kind of tuck through here. That's gonna be the right side, and then that is gonna be the bilge area. So first things first, I need to start laying down these edges. Got to mix up some resinito. Boatyard Fiberglass resin. Let's do it. I'm about to mix up the resin and start laying it down. I'm going to show you the process of laying it down. I'm not going to show you the process of mixing it because honestly, if I do it wrong, I don't want to spread the wrong message. So I'm going to do this incognito, and then I'll bring you back for laying down the edges. Edges are down. A little sloppy, but it's all glassed in. I've never claimed to be the best at this, but I'm doing my best at this. All right, time to lay the big pieces. Boy, oh boy, what a job that was. The floor is in. Do we have some air bubbles? Yeah. Am I gonna have to do a lot of sanding tomorrow? Yes. But the floor is in nonetheless. She's in. What a day. What a day. I think it's like 10 o'clock right now. Definitely the longest I've been in here working. Had a good time though, had the music going. Things that I would have done differently, I wouldn't have put the full sheets down first. I would have done smaller sections. That way I would have less air bubbles throughout the journey. I would have saturated the wood first and then laid down the matting. I would have, I don't know, there's a lot of things that I would have done differently, but regardless, I'm glad you guys tagged along today. I needed some homies today. Again, this is not a how-to channel. I probably did so many things wrong, but let's just leave it at that, you know? I need friends more than I need a bunch of advice. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could do differently, but I just need the homies hanging out in the shop. That's all I could ask for. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out today for part 2 of replacing the floor in this big old Jones Brothers skiff. We're gonna come back tomorrow and see how it is. This is definitely slower curing resin, so I'm gonna give it a good amount of time and then come back and check in maybe tomorrow evening for the gel coat experience, because I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna sand it all down, lay some gel coat. Tomorrow I'll try and source a big thing of marine matting, EVA foam type of deal. Oof. I'm delirious at this point, but I'm proud of the work that we did. I'm happy, you know, I'm happy to get my hands dirty, dig in there and do it myself. This is a very expensive job if you take it somewhere. Possibility that it would be better if you took it somewhere, but I'm gonna feel a lot of pride when we get this thing out on the water, because we're actually building it from the ground up. So hopefully you stay tuned for all of that. Stay tuned for part 3, gel coating. We're gonna do the whole inside, not just the floor. We're gonna make this thing look like a brand new boat here soon. And then we're gonna cruise down south and pick up some center consoles and some steering stuff and we're gonna get a bunch of stuff. This boat's gonna be sweet, dude. Sweet. But I'm yapping at this point. I need to go home. Need to pick up some dinner for the wife and the baby and enjoy the rest of the night. Yet again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Love you guys so bad. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Quite a mess we have in here. I wanted to say one more thing. The other thing that I would do differently is I would wear a respirator. Your boy's feeling woozy. Definitely have a headache though. I've been grinding my butt off in here. Lots of work being done. But yeah, I feel crazy with all this resin in the air. Definitely circulated. Got the industrial fan. I got the air mover over there. Got fresh air coming in the bay door. But anywho, I'm going home and going to sleep, man. Yeah, dude, I'm like getting spacey now. Dude, I need to get out of here. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Honestly, somebody just remind me to never replace a floor ever again. Dusty, man. That's how I was walking around public, just covered in fiberglass dust, and there's resin on the bottom of the flop, so I was ice skating in there. Peace.